Hey legends, I just wanted to jump on the New South Wales team predictions bandwagon. And as you can see here, I've got the big man, Dylan Edwards, currently the #1 fullback in the game and probably has been for at least the last 2 or 3 years. And all I have to say on Dylan Edwards is it is time. If New South Wales are serious about showing up and putting the best players on the park, then you can't go past Dylan Edwards. So with that in mind, let's get into it. All right, the man of the hour, Dylan Edwards. I actually think he does need to be the New South Wales #1 fullback. Now, that's no disrespect to Teddy. Teddy is an amazing player, but New South Wales have a new coach. I think it's time that New South Wales take this team in a new direction. I mean, think about it this way. Even if Teddy is the #1 fullback this year, he's definitely not going to be there next year. So I reckon it's time to make that transition and strike while the iron is hot. And there's no doubt Dylan Edwards is in an incredibly rich vein of form. And like I said earlier, he is currently the #1 fullback in the game. So for me, he's in at #1 in my New South Wales team. Now keep in mind, I'm a Queenslander, so take whatever I say about New South Wales with a grain of salt. Let's keep moving. Okay, on the wings, I've got Brian To'o and Jesse Ramian from the Cronulla Sharks. Now, I reckon both of these speed men are in incredible form. And if I was picking the team today, I'd have both of these men in my side. The other thing that I think both of these guys do is complement the players that I have selected in the halves. Because I do think you need a combination of amazing in the position plus the ability to communicate and link well with the players around you. So keep that in mind as we go through the next few slides. Next up, we've got our centres, and I've gone for Stephen Crichton and Matty Burton. So I do know Matty Burton's playing, obviously, as a 5'8" at the Bulldogs, but I do like his versatility and ability to play in the centres. The other thing is, Matty Burton has the biggest boot in the game, and I also think that'll be a very handy weapon for the New South Wales team. Stephen Crichton, well, he is just a beast. On top of that, he has tremendous leadership capability. Let's keep moving. Okay, in the halves, I've gone with Jarome Luai and Nicho Hynes. So I do think Nicho Hynes deserves his crack at the #7 position. And as a Queenslander, there is no bigger grub to me than Jarome Luai, especially when it comes to State of Origin. But there's no denying his talent, and there's no denying that he has stepped up in the absence of Cleary. And again, his versatility and ability to navigate the team around the park, I think would work well with someone like a Nicho Hynes. So there you go, that is my halves pairing. Let's move towards the forwards. And up front, I've got the big man, Payne Haas. As a Broncos fan, I wish he was a Queenslander, but he is without doubt one of the best, if not the best forward in the game. And the other guy there, big Stefano Utoikamanu. I think those two would just absolutely complement each other and would absolutely terrorize the Queensland forward pack as well. They're both huge men. They would be absolutely energy zapping to continue to tackle all night. They both got relatively big motors, especially Payne Haas. And I honestly think that these two have the capability of wearing the Queensland team down. Now, moving on to the second row. And I've got Angus Crichton coming back in. He is the form second rower of the competition right now. And I think he's absolutely earned his way into a Blues jersey. And the guy beside him there, Hudson Young from the Raiders, I think he just has the right amount of niggle. He was probably the most difficult decision about who I plug in that second row position to support Angus Crichton. But I reckon he has got that right amount of power, speed, and niggle. And I think he's also in a good, decent amount of form. Moving on to lock, and I've gone with Isaiah Yeo. Again, it comes down to that motor. He's a guy who can go for the full 80 minutes and give 120%. So I just think him combined with big Payne Haas, big Stefano Utoikamanu, I think between those three, it would absolutely terrorize the Queensland forward pack. And then I think on the back of that, Api Koroisau, if he's fully fit, will be able to build on the platform that his big men are really able to build for the rest of the team. In terms of the bench, I've got Reece Robson, I've got Cam McInnes, I've got Liam Martin, and I've got Ryan Campbell-Gillard. So I've gone with a big man bench as opposed to speed, and that's probably the only real big area of weakness in this team that I can see. Let's have a look at what that looks like on the park. And I think the only player that's currently missing is Suoli'i. I think he's been confirmed from this team, and he would probably come in for a Matty Burton, and a Matty Burton might slip into the bench or maybe even be the 18th man, who knows. Now, in terms of the 18th man, I've gone with the kind of the Queensland strategy of bringing in somebody who's relatively new. So Queensland did it with Tommy Dearden. You bring him in, you give him the exposure to the team. You don't necessarily expect him to play. And I think Ethan Strange fits that mold really, really well. I certainly wouldn't be pumping Ethan Strange into a starting role in this team. I think experience does count for something at State of Origin level. But you've got to find a way to bring in some of those support players, those new players, the next generation of talent, and give them exposure to that New South Wales environment. And maybe as 18th man, or even a little bit further beyond that, he's part of the broader New South Wales team. He needs to be, I think, included in the context of the team New South Wales are building into the future. Absolutely. So there you go. Look, that is my team. And like I said, you could have a Joseph Suoli'i here, and then perhaps, Burton to the bench, or maybe even move one of these guys down to 18th man. So what do you reckon? What do you think your New South Wales team would be? Who would you include? For me, the only guys I really struggle with is this one here with Hudson Young. To me, I don't know if he'll make the starting side. He might be more of a bench utility. I'd love to see Cam McInnes make it. I think he deserves a spot. Does New South Wales need two hookers? That's definitely another question as well. I think Payne Haas is locked in. Yo is locked in. Big Stefano is probably a 50-50, I would have thought. Would love to see Angus Crichton back in a Blues jersey. I honestly think these two are the best halves combination that New South Wales has at the moment. There's no Cleary. I very much doubt Mitchell Moses is in contention. And I absolutely believe that Nicho Hynes has earned his shot. To'o is the form winger. Stephen Crichton is just an absolute beast. Ramian is in great form. Although I could see the selectors going with Latrell Mitchell. And what do you reckon about Dylan Edwards versus James Tedesco? Now, I don't think in this New South Wales team that New South Wales can afford to carry both of them. Now, there is this question of leadership, and if we go through the team and look for leaders, well, I reckon that you've got Yo as a leader, you've got Api Coruscant as a leader, you've got Nicho Hynes as a leader, Stephen Crichton. So I actually reckon there's a whole bunch of people who would step up and into that leadership role, but I do think it's definitely time to move on from poor old Teddy. So there you go, guys. Look, that is my New South Wales Blues team prediction. I think after the team is officially announced, we'll come back and we'll have a look at our New South Wales and Queensland team predictions and just see how right or wrong we actually end up being. Anyway, guys, look, there you go. That's the video. If you've liked it, you know what to do. Smash that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, guys, get involved in the conversation via the comment section down below. And I'll see you all in the next video.